All right, gamers. Hello. It's me, Lemoni. Happy Friday. All right. I've been a little light with videos and stuff. Again, I've been busy with school, work, I'm moving, all kinds of good things happening. But I've been live streaming. And on my last live stream, I did talk about the things I would like to see changed for healing. It was a pretty long one, so that's why this video is a little bit longer. And in general for the PTR. So if you want to, listen to that entire thing, piece around as is, but there's a lot of raw emotion, a lot of raw feeling, a lot of critiques and constructive criticism. I don't want anybody to feel like I hate the game or I'm very disappointed with the direction the game is going. New World is the best it has ever felt. I love the game. I love everything about it. It's just a little frustrating from the player perspective, especially from the healer community. So I'm going to talk about healing and the healing trees. And then 2, I'm going to talk about what should be done on the PTR to keep the game feeling this good. Basically, I'm going to address stamina changes, CC, healing, and everything else under the sun. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I want the way that live feels just with proper balancing. So let's get into it. Listen to this. Let me know how you're feeling. And as always, hit all the stuff down below. I appreciate all of you. And if you have questions or thoughts on this, hit me up on my live stream on Twitch, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, around 11 a.m. Central Time or earlier, depends on the day. But hit up my Discord to stay updated on that. Hope you enjoyed this video. And again, it's a long one. I apologize, but there's just so many things I was feeling. And I was like, hey, let's just make this into a video. So let me know what you're thinking. Honestly, AGS, hire me as a balancing coordinator, okay? I'll balance the game. I'll take the brunt of that hit. You can all blame me. But like healing-wise, I'm going to go through this and tell you what's wrong with healing on PTR versus live, right? So, like I was saying, because now that I can think where I'm not actually in an OPR, this should stay the same cast time as is, okay? This, maybe make it a 1.51 second. I don't know what it is right now. Here, I can do this because I have... On live right now, it feels way longer than it does on PTR. It's the same cast time, never mind. But it can be interrupted. It can do all that stuff. Leave this as is. Leave it at the 120, 125% weapon damage, even if you want to. Give it a little bit of oomph. Leave everything on this side as is, okay? Nerf this to 10% if you're really worried about being, like, how strong it is. I think 10% per buff is fair. Why? Because we would need 4 buffs on the target for this to be equal to Divine Embrace. But then at that point, DE can still bounce heal the people. You can reset cooldowns. You can basically get back-to-back DEs if you get it to bounce. If you heal one person below 50 and another person below 50. And it heals for a lot. 120%, that's a lot. Are you going to do anything about people climbing up on the spawn walls and camp with a musket? Probably not. But, like, in fairness, okay, I know a lot of us are complaining about things, but I wouldn't want to take on the brunt of... I just said I would, but they deal with a lot of fix this, fix that, fix this, okay? And trying to figure out balancing a game is always hell. Anyway, back to this, though. Light's Embrace. Make this 10% per. Leave it as an instant cast. Hell, you can even make it 5% per if you really, really wanted to. Because it shouldn't be the strongest heal in the game. It should not out-heal this tenfold and have instant cast time. That's 100%, I get that. But leave this as your flash, right? Your instant heal. As a healer, you need it. You can't make 2 abilities that are fundamentally the same, heal exactly the same, cast time exactly the same, and then just have, okay, this one heals higher base, but has, you know, it's always same floor, same ceiling. This one has a lower floor, way higher ceiling, and then this one can bounce. That you're just deciding between those. It's the same ability, just like different affixes on that ability. What's your mutation PvE build? I run a Mending LE Sacred Ground with a Void Gauntlet. But it's just bad. And then the other thing is like Magnify. Magnify sucks, okay? Who uses Magnify, right? If I'm healing, my healing build, and I've dropped Mending Touch. Mending Touch could be great if they reverted Mending Touch to old Mending Touch, where it still did the AoE circle to remove debuffs. 1, I can't remove debuffs on myself as a healer like I used to all the time. 2, half the time when you shoot a heavy attack through your ally to try and take a debuff off, they end up rolling or iframing it somehow and it doesn't actually go off. So there's that. So I've stopped taking Mending Touch. Why have I stopped taking it? So I can take this crappy talent, which works every 2 minutes, right? It works every 2 minutes so that I have enough stuff to get to here because this is so strong compared to this that I will never bother taking this. And Enchanted Justice is, sure, maybe, I don't even know if this ability works. There's no visual for it. And okay, as soon as I'm done with this, I will stop ranting, I promise. But there's no visual for it. I don't know what's happening when it actually procs. And so how do I even know if it's working? I don't know, to be honest with you. Does anybody know how to see if this is working? Is it a thing? I don't know. Right? So, like, sure, it could be great, but I would make this a minute cooldown, not a 2 minute. Whoever in their right mind when balancing things said, we're going to make a 48% weapon damage heal that does a 4 meter circle radius. By the way, 4 meters, if you're wondering. Oh, okay, my middle mouse is not pinging. 4 meters is me here to here, which is a decent size, but still not that large for it to be a 2 minute cooldown, in my opinion. But even though it's garbage, it's still better than attempting to use this garbage right here. Because I'm better off just constantly left clicking people and maintaining my intensify stacks, because this ends up healing for when somebody's in a sacred like 800 plus, 750 plus. You check for your timer. Yeah, literally the only way to see is that you check for your timer, but let me tell you, how are you supposed to look at your timer when you have like 4 buffs that only can show at once and the rest of your buffs never even pop up on your bar half the time, which makes it hard. Steve from the mailroom. Yeah, it could have been Steve. That's true. But so 4 months, we have been doing the same, and people were doing this, but what's the point of doing this at that point? You are doing this same build between these things because you will never touch this, and Splash of Light, I know there's niche circumstances where it works, but it is atrocious. You want to sit there and boom clap, you do your thing, but you are going to die. It's essentially what's happening on PTR where you're trying to cast Divine Embrace or Light's Embrace, but boom clap just takes even longer. Yeah, it's great that it's 100 meters. If I'm playing up on the wall doing siege, hell yeah, I'm running Splash of Light, but I'm not doing that. So as such, in summation, the healing side will always be this, because this ultimate ability is infinitely better than anything Magnify can do, right? Sure, let me cast, and then let's talk about, yeah, outside of War, Splash is worthless, and then even in War, there's minimal value for it. But let's talk about this. Magnify is not being changed, and we're making this a cast time now, right? I don't know. How many times is this actually going to do anything now that this is a cast time? Buffs are just going to fall off. I'm going to fall off my dinosaur before I can actually even get a cast off on this. In my opinion, I'm going to take DE over LE, because one, I can DE reset with refreshing DE. I can bounce, so when people get caught in grav wells or they get clumped, you can bounce heal the people. And the thing is, I can heal the person that's stacked on top with the Divine Embrace. I can then bounce it to somebody else. And so, but again, I don't know how to, half the time the bounce is really weird anyway. I will take DE over LE, because one, I don't have to worry about, let's say I just fresh heal a target. I don't have to worry about putting 4 buffs on them now for LE to out heal DE. And it's going to be the same ability. Baseline, right? I don't have to, if I have no intensify stacks, no buffs on a target, and I heal them straight up with DE, it will heal more than LE. And LE, if I have 3 buffs on, will still heal less. So 4 buff is what I need it to be better. But regardless, now, so once we have our default cookie cutter build that will not change after the arena patch or any other patch that has ever happened over here, what do we have? Well, we have 8 points now to decide, do I want Orb, Beacon, LE? Okay? And in any standard build, if you're a blanket healer, I would do something like this. Because if you're blanketed, you're probably not running this, because you're most likely in medium, but you could be in light and you're pretty evasive. And then you have this in the back pocket at all times. Right? So boom, you have blanket. Me, what I like doing when I'm dive healing in a war, I've been going like this. This is my war dive heal setup, right? I don't need this haste. I don't even need this 5 seconds longer, to be honest, and I could probably put it somewhere else, but I could put it here so that LE gets another buff for my group when I'm healing them. I could do that. So there's that. But personally, I just do that just in case I'm not hitting stuff, and then Beacon, get some extra time when I'm not getting my cooldown reduction. Or you run a mending build and you go like this. And then again, you could probably drop this for this. I think this is almost going to be necessary in the state. Like if you're running LE, this is probably going to be necessary with the stamina changes. But if we keep going throughout the tree, let's say, okay, I want Bend Light solid. I'm going to have to take this or this at this point because I can't do anything else because I need to get to LE. I want this for more healing. I have 4 points. Where am I going to spend them? Right. Orb perk is really good. Yeah. But again, if with how many people run Orb, a lot of the time it just overlaps and then you get nothing out of it. I could go Inspire. And then whenever I heal a target with Light's Embrace, wow, 2% of my max mana per buff. Nice. What could I do instead? Drink a mana pot. By the time that's even valuable, it's not going to matter. Dive healer is like somebody who's like in packs, like fighting in the middle of the battle, like diving with a side team, doing flanks, stuff like that. On the side tree, it's if you have a buff healed for 10%. regardless if it's a buff that you have food, anything, and again, some clarity would be nice. It's not like we've been asking for a year, not a year, but months to get some clarity on anything. But regardless, you're gonna have an orb here that's gonna be on you at all times. So you're always gonna have a buff. Anyway, so it's like a free 10%. And two, I'm pretty sure this works. So meaning, as long as you have Sacred Protection on, you're getting 15% healing increase for your party. Regardless, what else can we do? You want some haste? Well, when you're below 50% health, I can get you 10% for 5 seconds on a 20-second cooldown. What's the point, right? If I go below any percent health and I LE myself, I get accelerating LE, which lasts, I can use all the time, and it lasts almost as long, right? So there's that. Regardless, I take it, pretty sure it works. I haven't had an issue with it. Here's the other thing. A lot of people are like, why don't you take glowing focus? Well, I think to get down to this point, and to actually use this point, it's a waste because I only have 3, right? And so I either have to sacrifice this to get full orb, because orb now is only really worth if you get Aegis. So you have to, if you commit to orb, you have to take 4 points into it. And with beacon, you have to commit 3 or 2, right? This does not make beacon longer. This makes these buffs longer, which are already super long. So what's the point? It's 20 seconds baseline. It makes this longer. It makes your intensify longer. Doesn't do anything with Sacred Ground. So it's like, I don't know. Yeah, you get 2 free buffs with orb because as long as you hit somebody with it, you're going to get it. But now, what are the other ones? This one sucks. This is the worst thing I've ever possibly thought of as an ultimate ability, because any of these little tiny abilities outshine this ultimate tenfold. Why do we need buff extension when the only real buff we're putting on people, and again, I haven't tested this, but I can guarantee you this isn't going to make Sacred Ground last longer if they're sitting in it. It's going to extend their orb buffs, which are the only buffs you're putting out, which again are 20 seconds long, and you have an 8-second cooldown on your orb. I also wish they had some kind of visual cue to let me know if group mode. You know how I tell? I just hit my button, try and cast, and see who it goes on. Does anybody have any other questions about what is wrong with this healing tree? Another thing, why would I ever take this when I block a melee attack, gain 5% max mana? Great. And can we talk about the other thing? Is they're finally changing this to be just a flat mana increase, which is essentially regen, right? But because regen does not work when you're left clicking or doing anything else. So this has been wasted the entire time New World has been out. This talent point has been wasted at 300. Has done nothing. In summation, this needs to get changed to not be group mode only and need to be a splash that you either like breathe out and hit everybody with, or they need to increase the amount of healing it does for it to actually be worth. This, I made a video on this a while back, just saying this is what needs to change with healing. And I'm just getting, with what they're doing to it on PTR, like even more so, we need more changes to these kinds of things. This should not be 2-minute cooldown. It should be, in my opinion, 30 seconds to 45 seconds. Not even a minute, because it is atrocious. Here's how you fix DE versus LE. Instead of making this 30% more per buff on each target, right? So I put an orb on somebody. Right now, this is 140% heal. This is 120. Just with an 8-second cooldown orb, this is already mega better, right? Because now they're also protected. They have all this stuff on. So it's already out-healed by this, outpaced with 1 skill point. For this to become worth, I have to put in like 2 skill points because I could maybe bounce it. So there's that. But LE needs to be the flash heal. You do not put anybody in any game, does not make your flash heal and your heavy heal the exact same cast time. Like, come on, people. What are we thinking? Yeah, it already gets interrupted as is with how much like CC and moving around and pulling around there is in the game. Now, you saw me, I could put a clip into this of me using DE to try it in OPR. I casted it, tried casting it, okay? And in the amount of time it took me to try and cast that, I missed 1 person, 2 person, couldn't save myself, and had it interrupted in 3 times in a 1-minute span. So tell me in what world that is going to be your solution. And now, instead, you want, hey, we're really gonna adjust diminishing returns, CC, and completely just change the whole CC thing, right? But now what we're also going to do is make it so healers basically, you're just going to get destroyed because we're not going to balance any other weapon in the game. And, this just touches on anything else, like one-shot blunderbuss combos that stagger you but are not affected by diminishing returns. So that's great, 1. 2, we're going to actually make medium healing nerfed, the thing that's going to help you live against that stuff. So that's, solid. We're gonna make heavy just nerfed into the ground. And 3, or whatever, how many fingers I have up, we're not going to adjust blunderbuss damage at all because you can click one ability and shotgun shot somebody, and I can shoot, shotgun shoot, and one-shot people. And I can throw a Gravwell and shoot a shotgun and some bombs in there and one-shot people. I can run an Ice Gauntlet and, one-shot people. I can run a Void Gauntlet with a blunderbuss and one-shot people. I mean, what else can you run with a blunderbuss and one-shot people? Pretty much everything, right? But Sword and Shield blunderbuss is unchanged. Gravwell, we're going to take a month to fix Gravwell. The thing that is absolutely decimating the competitive PvP is just 8 Gravwells. I mean, you can just Gravwell stack and everybody blows up. Yeah, or you can cast a Beacon and then, good luck. That's great. Half the time, Beacon does not stick to somebody and you end up shooting it past them even when they're standing right in front of you. Don't forget it's eaten by Maelstroms 50% of the time. Yeah. Did you also know that your own ally Maelstrom will eat your own Beacon? So that's a fun one too. So if you want to beacon your teammate that's in a pack trying to save his own life with his Maelstrom, you don't get to heal him. We're going to block it into Narnia and hit that thing way over the fence. Anything else? My RE build. Yeah, okay. RE, you want to run Refreshing Evasion? Good luck. You have less stamina regen than a overweight donkey running through the desert, okay? I'm sitting here just huffing and puffing all day trying to live. Good luck. Good luck. Hey, you a light player? Because we're going to make it so light is the only way to heal. Because all the other ones are going to be too trash and you're not going to be able to escape anything. So we're going to, if you're a light player, good luck. You're not going to be able to roll away because you're not going to have enough stamina. By the time you roll once and need to roll again, you're going to Grey Bar and you're going to die. Essence Rupture? You want to run Essence Rupture? Essence Rupture. You said Essence. That made me think it. You want to run Essence Rupture in PvE right now? Good luck. It's going to go through the boss's face. Your teammates never... Oh, yep. Okay. Hey, are you trying to run away inside the outpost? And there's an ice shower here. Oh, hold on. Oh, wait. Sorry. I couldn't ping with my life staff out. Sorry. I can't. Let me switch to my other weapon. There's an ice shower there. Ice shower there. Ice shower there. And you're trying to get out? But you don't know which ice shower is your team's and which one's not. And you run. And then, you stepped in the wrong one. Sorry. Or there's a storm or a Gravwell. You don't know which one. Still don't know which one's mine. I love New World. Absolutely love the game. I love playing it. And personally, I think right now the game feels the best it has ever felt. And if I were a game dev, I think more players would be happy if we left it the way it is right now, adjusted the ability to roll out of an ice shower, left the healing but nerfed LE total calculation, and then we adjusted blunderbuss damage slightly. And I think the game would be a thousand, even better than it is right now. Instead, we're completely changing the way CC works, and I do think there needs to be some work done on diminishing returns, right? But the way that they're doing diminishing returns are strictly roots and stuns and not staggers, and staggers are a big issue. But regardless, I think right now the game is in the best state it's been, and the PTR is making it worse. All around. Movement worse, everything worse. Also, you guys want to see something cool? Making healing worse, it's making everything worse. Yeah, well, what am I joking about? I guess I'm not joking about leave the game as is, and you address Gravwell bug and change that instead of taking a month to do it. You make ice showers so that we can roll and not root, and then you can't roll for 3 seconds. And I think you adjust LE total calculation, and I think we slightly nerf blunderbuss damage, and I think we're in a good spot. Honestly, I think you fix those couple things, and this game is infinitely better. I think what they're trying to do with it right now, and then, do some bow tweaking. So that there's innate scaling that isn't mentioned anywhere, so you never, yeah. We have no idea, the majority of the healing calculations, we have no idea how those are calculated. We have focus, we have all these healing modifiers, but what's doing what, and there's stuff that interacts with buffs. Healing needs to be gutted and give us an actual, representation of this is how things increase. Yeah, this month's patch is 100% steps backwards. I will die on that sword that this PTR patch is... The arena's great, but what they're doing otherwise, awful. You feel it in 3. Yeah, I don't even know. And that's the thing is, we can already feel this stuff in arena. And don't get me wrong. Running arena healer is not worth. Wait until you're in a war trying to heal anybody. You cannot use LE or DE. You could probably use DE and maybe get some bounces. But again, you're going to get interrupted. You're going to get smoked. And you're better off running a blanket healer running. Dan, I'm not even going to lie. It was all jokes aside, I think the rant that we just had was legitimate regarding everybody's feelings on PTR versus live. Can we all say that?
All right, chat. How do we feel? Was the rant justified?
Is the
Was
rant
this
justified?
a original Gravwell, a GAIG rant, or was this a
No,
justifiable
I
rant?
was legitimate. I talked about the entire healing tree and why it's what needs to get changed.
So
Totally
what
accurate
are
and
we
legit.
upset about? Can you give me the
Do you really
TLDR?
want? Okay,
No, just give me
basically,
like the
life staff
condensed,
tree,
like.
we've had the same healing side on the left, and all the other abilities are just ass. And what they're doing to change it is making Light's Embrace ass, and they should just be tweaking the number instead of the cast time because you have two of the same ability, right? All the other things, bad. This ultimate, bad, because this is going to have a cast time, and it's even not worth now. So you have to take the same thing on the left side every single time. They need to change Splash of Light. They need to change a lot of stuff, okay? Now, as far as movement and everything goes, this is what I said. If you look at
Okay.
PTR and you look at live, essentially what they need to do on live is one, and not take a month to fix triple gravel explosion that one shots people. One, okay?
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Two, make it
Like
so
they.
that we can roll out of ice showers. Okay, I'm cutting you off so I don't think, so I don't lose my train of thought. Make it so we can roll out of an ice shower after we get rooted. Okay. Three, I don't think we should be able to iframe in a root. I think that's ridiculous. Therefore, reverting the scream being another second long, or maybe you could leave scream, but I think being able to roll in a root is just dumb. Four, make it so that LE total calculation is 10% per buff. Leave it as the cast time it is, so that you have a flash heal option. Five, nerf blunderbuss slightly, and then make it so that all of the movement and stamina changes are reverted, and we leave the game as is.
Stamina feels bad.
Like it just feels like you could not
Feels
touch the
so
game right
bad.
now. The game, like somebody tell me that the game feels bad right now, other than getting caught in a grav well and just saying, "I'll see you in Valhalla, brother," and then dying. Okay, like that's the only thing,
I agree. I think
right?
the
That's
game,
it. That's it.
the actual just like feel of the game feels really good right now.
I don't even know how to like cut up this talk into a video, but I just want to take this entire segment that we've been talking as mismatched and me taking follows and things and just putting it out there because this is going to be a while and I think there's a lot of things we've addressed and it's just the game is in such a good state right now that if they just made those tweaks to Ice Shower, fix Gravwell, I think it is justified to say, hey, Ellie is way too strong. We're going to change it. But then to not modify anything and still give us stuff like Magnify is ridiculous.